Hello, everybody. Today I'll be speaking about the actions and strategies of my environmental management plan. In overview, I will be restating the topic and vision statement, going over the management alternatives, the selective alternative, and finally the success criteria. So the topic has remained the same over the past two presentations, which is waste management of an off-grid van. I decided to emphasize off-grid as the definition given in the first PowerPoint will come into play majorly in this presentation. I will explain more in the management alternative slide. The vision statement is also the same as it has been over the last two presentations, so if you wish, you can pause here and reread it. Before we get into the specific management alternatives for this project, I decided to throw in this image for the rest of my classmates to use. I found it really helpful in this planning process. So here we have the management alternatives that I have for this project. I really used Google Scholar to help show me some examples. However, please note that these alternative actions are to be taken by the state park because this EMP is based on an individual action by the van lifer. The selected alternatives are pushed toward the park in order to vary actions in force and stakeholder responsibility. You will see the selected alternatives bolder in the next slide, but they are marked on this slide with a dash, and you'll see that they show a range of creative policy and alternatives designed to address the objectives that were developed in the first and second presentations. The alternatives that are not marked with a dash are again taken by the individual van lifer, but again, because it is an off-grid community, there is limited action to be taken. I selected all three alternatives just because, again, like I said in the previous slide, all of the environmental management plans actions outline individual actions. So these three are totally viable actions for the park itself to take. So according to the state park's website, there are 5 non-gendered toilet areas as well as a small gray water dumping site and a dumpster as well. But according to envirodesignproducts.com, there should be at least one dump station for every 100 campsites, and being that this state park already does have a dumping facility, this EMP proposes a secondary site because it is such a highly traversed area for van lifers. Additionally, Anza Borrego Desert State Park is the only state park in California that allows dispersed camping, otherwise known as boondocking, which means you don't have to obtain a permit or pay a fee. So specifically creating these extra sites will serve the boondockers and the van life community. This slide shows a picture of the plans for all three dumping grounds. Please feel free to pause and check them out. So the success criteria will be managed by a quality assurance team that is comprised of persons outside of the stakeholder group so as to not create any conflicts of interest. However, the team could be an additional duty for state park rangers if need be, one ranger being the resource advisor and one being the satisfaction tracker, both working together to help contractors meet schedule requirements. So the 3 items to be managed are in the bubbles on the screen. The first is resource management of the money dedicated to the dumping ground projects within the park. Second is to meet the schedule requirements of the building process in order to complete the projects before the 2023 Van Life Gathering. And lastly, to gather customer feedback through simple button pressing surveys after using each dumping station, such as what you would commonly see in public restrooms that collect data on how cleanly the facilities are. So this specifically will help gather data points on how many people are using the facilities and how it is fulfilling their need or satisfaction level. This slide shows the projected schedule of requirements needed to build each dumping ground. I have it listed with the month, actions, and then their impact and results for the project. It takes place during November through January of 2023, and these months are the off season for Anza Borrego Desert State Park.
So in summary, we went over the topic, vision statement, management alternatives, selected alternatives, and success criteria. These are some links to the photos that I used. And if you have any questions, or please, if you have any suggestions for improvement specifically, I would really appreciate it. So please feel free to contact me at the class email or chat function, or just reply to my thread. Thank you.